Beautiful.
Yeah, and ritual is that. I find what it does is it pleases at a very deep level the soul. And the amount of transformation that happens really, really quickly in ritual. There's nothing that I do that I feel is more powerful than that. However, ritual on its own, without, drawing in the old arts of movement and sound and dance and music and stillness and creative conversation, it would be a little empty, right? That's what it is.
It's holistic.
Yeah. And that's very much what we focus on here at the center is lifestyle. It's more of okay, what are we eating? What are our practices? So the practice of shamanu helps to keep my body healthy and toned and strong. Also working in the garden does the same thing. And it also is a spiritual practice for us. It keeps us connected. For us, spirituality is that question of who am I? And why am I here? Who are you? Why are you here? I could say, well, we're all spirit. But what's your unique gift to the world? And everything we do, the herbalism, the live food, the shamanu, the permaculture, what are some of the other things we offer here? All aspects of the nutrition. It all comes to focus in the Earth Wisdom teachings, which is our relationship with the elements. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. And the Sevenfold Path, can you touch a little bit on that?
Well, the Sevenfold Path is really the foundation of the center, and I'd say the Earth Wisdom workshop is where it all integrates.
Right.
The Sevenfold Path comes from the Essene traditions, and they were an ancient sect that actually lived in peace. They did it.
Amazing.
And one part of the teachings that I loved is that their Bible was their garden. Yeah, I love that. And that's very much here. My husband, Chantry, his connection with nature is so beautiful. His love, you'll see as you walk around the grounds. It's the place exudes love because it's been loved.
Yes.
And what people find is that things can open in the heart, that the emotional healing that is needing to happen and wanting to happen in order to come closer to who we are. The land supports it so beautifully because she's been loved.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and so the Sevenfold Path is peace with the body, peace with the mind, peace with emotions, which means family. Let's get real. As Ram Dass said, if you think you're so spiritual, go spend a weekend with your family.
Yes.
Right? So those are the foundations, and we spend a lot of time with those. Okay. And the shamanu, the live food, the whole nutritional approach, it really, really addresses that in a very beautiful way. Then it's peace with community. Okay, so you've got that in place. What's your service? Not like, I got to serve. No, we're born to serve. It's the fulfillment of being at peace with the first three. You can't not, right? You got to share who you are, right? And then peace with humanity or culture, it's also called, and that's really exploring our relationship to the bigger picture. And then peace with ecology and all aspects of nature. Now that imbues everything that we do here, as it did with the Essenes. And peace with God, or spirit, or the great spirit, whatever you want to call that. When you have the first six in place, the seventh isn't something you even need to talk about, because you're living it.
Yes.
You're an expression. You could say God, goddess in action on earth. I love that about the Sevenfold Path, because I tried for years to find that relationship, that peace with God from the top down, without addressing my emotional needs, without addressing the truth, really connecting with, okay.
So the surface work was done.
Yeah.
Mm.
And not that it wasn't valuable. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it's a huge part of who I am now. And a cycle that was really important in my life. And I think at the time, there was a lot of communities that focused on that. And it was a really important time on the planet, because it was a generation of light. And without there being enough of that, I don't think that we could be doing this kind of shadow work that we're doing now.
What do you mean by shadow work?
The inner work, the inner child work, the addressing the, not just the traumas from our lifetime, the traumas.
Ancestral.
Absolutely. I mean, they live here. I mean, this is a time. This is the great purification time, you know. And I know that the majority of the work that I really do in this lifetime is invisible. It's this inner work of transformation, transforming, saying no. That's not true to me. You know, it's reclaiming the parts of ourselves that have been so rejected, and a lot of that relates to the divine feminine.
I'm hearing more and more about the divine feminine. Can you just tell me what, like, your take is?
It's the part of us that finds its home in the aspect of being, not so much doing. Now, not that you wouldn't want to be doing. I love doing. But it's the imbalance that's happening. I mean, people are burnt out everywhere, right? We're just doing one thing after another, one thing after another. Our children, I mean, they're going to school at these ridiculous young ages, you know, and feeling the pressure of needing to learn. And they should just be exploring life. It's a part of ourselves that honors all life, that cannot kill, that cannot destroy. It is a part of ourselves that is the lover, the caretaker, the giver of life. It supports life. It's life supporting life. And I'm not saying that the masculine aspect doesn't have that. We're all caught in this system because the masculine does, and it lives both. You know, they live here. It's just that the patriarchy has there's a real imbalance in a lot of the masculine do, go forward, achieve energies, which is really needed. But it's out of balance. We wouldn't be doing, when we're connected at that level, we wouldn't be doing to the earth what we're doing. We couldn't. We couldn't. It's like you feel her pain. You know, you feel her. We couldn't be doing to the waters. I mean, it's nuts what we're doing.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's insanity.
It's insanity. James Lovelock said, you know, we're sawing off the branch that we're sitting on. It's a disconnect. And so this return to of the mother, the return of the divine feminine, the return of the earth, and our relationship means that you begin to feel life. And women see, I don't really think that women would be sending their sons out to war.
No.
Yeah. You're not going to kill my baby. I mean, there's other ways of doing this. Now, I'm not, again, I want to be very careful. It's not about men and women. It's just that women carry more of it. Right now, I believe that eventually there'll be an absolute balance, that it's walking side by side. But a lot of what has been lost is related to the feminine aspect, and has been seen as irrelevant.
And so that's why it's emerging now, because it's coming back into balance. So
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it is so, and that's why there's so many women's groups.
Right.
Women are feeling, okay, I need to reclaim my voice,
Right.
and I need to reclaim that the parts of me that find their power in being are important.
Beautiful.
And somebody asked me the other day, well, what is the power of the feminine? And in my experience, when I have touched into it, and I mean, I'm as colored with the system, patriarchal system, as anybody else, right?
Yes.
So it's going through the layers.
Yes.
The power of the feminine, which me relates directly to love, is it is the most powerful and at the same time the kindest and most gentle force that I've ever felt in my life. And it's like nothing can withstand its strength, but it's a very different kind of strength. And there's men that embody this as much as women, and a lot of men embody it more deeply than women. It's where what we've given our attention to. My husband is, Chantry, has a very deep feminine. I mean, he's been trained by the earth.
Yes.
Since he was like a child. He loves the earth. When I first met him, he's also much more intellectual than me. You know, he wrote a book, right? I mean, I don't know if it's something I would ever sit down and do. Well, maybe. But not in that style, right?
Yes.
But when I watched him walk through the garden and the way he touches the plants and what happens in his heart when plants die and when trees die, it's like, wow, I mean, this man's heart has been so molded by the Great Mother and so taught that in areas, I mean, I learned so much about who I am as a woman through him.
Amazing. It's beautiful.
And there's a reemergence. I mean, I can't say that I know what it is. I can feel it. I'm called to it. The women's circles that I offer are very important. The shamanu is totally based in the feminine aspect. I mean, it's totally. It's a movement of love. It's a movement of life. It's and even the letting ourselves connect with the primal sounds, not a primal scream. It's all these parts of ourselves that have been put, oh, no, that's just not right. You know, you don't burp in public, or whatever it is. I mean, it's like so much of what is deeply real and sensuous has been colored white, you know, and just repressed.